From Billings, Montana to Barberton, Ohio. From Roanoke, Virginia to San Antonio, Texas. Let's ride. We want to ride shotgun with you for the next hour. Talkin Truckin with Dean and Dodie. Christian and Joel. Kumar and COVID. Ian and the news. And the highwayman. And Austin. You asked for it. That's good. That's good. So if you don't know, we missed last week. You might have noticed there was no show. I was traveling, was going to be out, so I wasn't going to make it. Dodie's in our office. He's not in Florida. The last minute, Kumar tested positive, and he had to stay off the show. Or had to stay home.
Yep,
so
and without me, this doesn't
work.
Ground.
We have no one to work.
What Russ doesn't know is Christian and I did the show, and he donated $300 to
Yes.
St. Jude's.
To St. Jude's.
Job well done,
What did
guys.
he test positive for?
Being really cool.
Hangover.
Going to the Meshuggah show.
Monkeypox.
I went to the doctor, and he said I'm just
Truckerpox.
too sick with it.
So guys, this week we have David Dudley, the professional fisherman, coming on. He's in a meeting, Kumar said, so he's going to join us here shortly, and we're going to reveal who won $500 for first place in the fishing contest, $300 for second, and $150 for third. None of us know, so it's pretty exciting, and I think we all entered something. At least I did. I know Dodie did, and I don't know if Christian did, but his sons did. There was a lot of pictures that came in, a lot of great fishing pictures, people we don't know, so it's kind of exciting to see who won. And don't forget the St. Jude's that Christian and Dodie have been paying so heavily to over the last few months. We also have, all the way from Billings, Montana, which I'm here with her. She's been picking on me all week, sitting next to her desk. Trish Burke. Trish, welcome.
Hi, Trish.
Hi, gang.
Trish.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah,
What's up,
she's
Trish?
been on with us before.
Hey.
We're going to talk a little logs with Trish.
Had an
We
incident
appreciate-
this morning.
What's that, Joel?
I had an incident this morning.
With Trish? I had an incident with Trish
Well,
this morning,
with
too.
Dave, But
Oh, me three.
No, Trish has been great. Actually, I got to go. So we got here Saturday, checked in the KOA, and Trish had texted me before that her and Kevin, her husband, wanted to pick us up and take us to lunch on Sunday. So that was amazing. Picked us up in Kevin's 65 Impala. It was just a cool ride. And then we went to get some wood-fired pizza. It was awesome. They treated us, Tina and I, really well on Sunday. Kevin's such a cool guy, Trish. I really liked him. He's a driver, just like a lot of us. So it was really good to spend a little time with them. And then the rest of the week, Monday through now, she's just been picking on me here in the office. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
I have to pick on you because if I didn't pick on you, you wouldn't want to come back.
Well, I'm sending Ian and Austin up here in a few weeks, maybe at the beginning of November, to do a little training. So you can pick on them. That'll be fun.
We'll put him right in the same area.
Yeah.
I'll reserve a desk for him.
Put one on each side of you, Trish.
I'm in the corner.
I'm sitting wherever's closest to the snack room.
First thing I do
I
when
heard you guys got a
Snack room.
new one. Yeah.
first thing I do when I come in is she's working on logs. I'm like, is it one of my guys? Nope. Your guys are okay today. I'm like, okay. Actually, it was your dad, Kevin, the other day. We talked to you, but
I know.
really wasn't his fault. It was a sensor thing, and we got it taken care of. So yeah, the St. Jude's is still going on. Kumar, do you have any idea how much we've raised so far this year? And we're going till Christmas.
It's a lot. I haven't counted it up yet. I have it all logged in a notebook.
Probably
I'll
a
have to go
couple
through.
grand, I think we were estimating.
Probably.
I'm gonna have.
So thank you, Christian.
I'm gonna need to take a look at that
Thanks, Ray.
notebook real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna need a
addendum.
GoFundMe account to pay my mortgage, but it's fine. It's just fine.
Yeah. So
So generous.
before we get going, and if Dave comes in, we're just going to go through this shortly with Trish. She's got some stuff to do. But I wanted to bring up logs this week, and we're not going to get into PC. We've been into that, down that road before. And it's really not changed. I mean, so, but Trish, here we go. How you doing, Dave?
Here he is.
Trish, you'll have to hold on.
Still
That's
connecting to
okay.
audio.
I'm here.
So, Dave, can you hear us?
Yep. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. So, Dave, I'm Russ Deaton. That's Christian on screen. I know you've been talking to Kumar, the Christian right there. And then Dodie over in the corner. He owns Fish Stalker's bait shop down in Florida. We all work together. That's Joel. And then there's a whole bunch of drivers on here. We got about 75 people on this show. No, probably 12 or something like that. But
Is this
16.
a video call or just a
Yes.
voice? Okay.
it's a video call. We can see you.
You look adorable, by the way.
Yeah. So Dave, this is the second year we've done this.
Okay.
500 for first place, 300 for second, and 150 for third. We don't even know some of the people that sent pictures in. You got the best of the best. We have no idea what you chose. But before we get into who won, you guys do?
Well, I do.
Kumar
I
knows.
don't think I shared it with anybody.
Before we get into who won, can you give us a little background on you? And he's the judge for our fishing contest this year.
So you kind of want to know my resume?
Yeah.
Like,
We want to make sure you qualify.
Yeah, like something really humbling, like the youngest ever to win a Bassmaster tournament at 19. You know, just small things like that.
You didn't put rocks down their mouth, did you?
So, yeah. I hate talking about myself. So, four-time Angler of the Year. I think this was my 28th season, and I've made 25 championships out of 28 seasons,
Wow.
which is pretty good. Let's see. I'm ranked second in the world of all-time money leaders. Kevin Van Dam is first, and I'm second. I've got FLW championships. Multiple. I think I've won three Bassmasters, I think, and 7 FLW events. I think. I don't know. I've won. I think 4.6 million is what I've won.
Wow.
That's it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're on tour.
Dudes, right?
What's your tour like? Is it like is it from spring to fall, or are you fishing all year?
We normally start in February and we head south, and then as we, get closer to summer, we start heading north with our events.
Okay.
They actually, I feel bad, but they actually did an article come out in the Bass magazine. They did the 5 top goats of all time of bass fishing. I thought it was pretty cool. They considered me one of the all-time. You know what the GOAT is?
Yeah,
Greatest
greatest
of
of all time. Yeah.
So
Tom Brady in
it
there.
was me, Rick Klein. Hold on, let me get them. It was me, Rick Klein,
Tom
Andy
Brady.
Morgan. Holy crap! Me, Rick Klein.
Bill Dance.
No, Bill actually wasn't one of them. He didn't have, he wasn't much in the tournament scene, and he didn't. Anyways, me, Rick Klein, Wheeler, and it was odd that they put Wheeler in there that early, but it was me, Wheeler, Andy Morgan, and Kevin Van Dam. Duh.
Van Dam. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to ask.
So, but kind of, humbling to see I was voted one of the top 5 goats of all time of bass fishing. That was pretty cool.
That's really cool. That's
Hey,
amazing.
David, I know you had to have seen it. What went on at that walleye tournament this weekend? What did you think of that?
It sure does put a scar on the fishing industry in a whole, especially for outside non-epidemic sponsors who are kind of inquisitive about bass fishing, and they're it's probably in a lot of their minds, can't you cheat in fishing? It's pretty bad. It's put
Yeah.
when you got Steve Ranelli and other people putting it out on their this is the biggest media scandal, even way bigger than Tony Christian. This was a bad scar.
TMZ, I think the New York Post picked it up. I mean,
I forgot about TMZ picked it up. I saw that one, but it went around pretty bad. So
And for those that don't know, it was up here, Russ. It was a walleye tournament on Lake Erie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a walleye tournament on Lake Erie, and they found 8 pounds of weight stuffed in these fish. 8 pounds of lead, cut up fillets, and a little pair of pliers. I mean,
so
kind of crazy.
David, I'm from Cleveland, the Cleveland area, and my office is there, but I'm out in Montana right now. And Tina and my wife, we left the office yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, and she asked me about it. She goes, "Did you hear someone was putting rocks in a fish?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't. I didn't really know what was going on." But she said, "Yeah, to win."
Have y'all seen the memes out about some of the memes out?
Yeah, the tacos and a walleye taco, and it shows a taco with these lead weights.
I saw that.
And then the walleye poop, it's like little split shot.
That's hilarious.
Walleye poop and there's a couple more selling weights for sale, the tacos, and there's a bunch of memes going around that are just hilarious.
While it was really bad, while it was bad that it happened, it was really enlightening to see the restraint of other grown men not whip the guys in the parking lot there. Because there's a sportsmanship. I think that's the sad thing too, is that it puts a really bad light on tournaments, and for people that aren't familiar with them, when there is a code of conduct, that happen at tournaments. But I do want to applaud a lot of the guys. There's some big guys there that restrain themselves from putting their hands on them too.
And to be clear, these tournaments do everything they can. I mean, there's a lie detector test involved. I mean, there's a lot involved that they try.
He passed it.
I know.
Wow.
Kind of crazy. I don't know. Yeah. Well, he passed one, and I think another one was questionable last year, is what I heard.
Yeah.
There was another. I don't know about this one, but I know there was one they passed and one questionable one.
I heard he passed this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heard.
Yeah.
And what they have, 4 fish for 36 pounds? Is that what it was?
Yeah, 4 for 33, I think it was.
Like inches long.
But the thing about it was odd because you watch his reaction, and it's like, it was almost like, yeah, you got me. It wasn't like there was, I don't know how to describe it. That's what, when you watch him, he's just standing there numb.
No emotion, blank stare.
Nothing. Yeah.
Maybe he cheated on the lie detector test too.
That's probably why.
And I'm not sure if it was the fact that he had no remorse or he was just afraid he was going to get pummeled. I mean, sometimes when you get caught, you just get stuck like a deer in headlights too. And what else is he going to do?
That much. I mean, there was other cut up fillets. There was lead, 8 pounds of lead in there, and a little pair of pliers stuffed in these fish. You put that much in there. This wasn't the first time that it's happened. And these guys won over.
Pliers in there?
Yeah, if you look, there's a little pair. I didn't know it either. It was on some of the other memes and some of the other articles. There was a little pair of pliers stuffed in there.
Wow.
Yep. And those guys won over. Those guys won over $300,000 last year.
Wow. So speaking of tactics of winning, Dave, I got a question for you. So in 2017, it said you were in the World Championship in South Africa. How do you prepare to fish in South Africa? Now, you took home the silver medal, is what it says, but how do you prepare for something like that?
A bass is a bass is a bass, and it doesn't matter where you're at in the world. So as far as reading water, what time of year, we just took what time of year it was, and it was right around springtime. They wasn't spawning at that time in that area. But one of the things, I just remember being escorted around everywhere with machine guns, military, seeing it was eye-opening. We live in a great country, man. We do. And we had to be escorted. But one of the cool things, we're getting ready to fish the event here at Lake Murray in 2 weeks, and I was on a conference call right before you guys discussing details. We got 25 flags that are going to be flown. Basically, 25 countries that are going to be here. But one thing that was cool, and it's like soccer over in Argentina. When you see Boca Raton or, any of those high end, they're gods. And when and I'm talking USA, and I'm not like blah, blah, blah. Right. But when the team of USA would walk around, these other countries, like literally were staring right through our skeletons like we're God, and it was cool, like cool and humbling at the same time to realize that other countries, like they pay attention to us. Like we're the godfather. When I say we, meaning USA, we're the godfather of, bass fishing. And we are looked upon very respectively upon the world. And I'm sure here in 2 weeks when we start this event, it'll probably, be the same thing this will be the biggest one ever, with 25 flags being flown. I remember that. It was humbling to see, like when you sign, like people come up to you, sign autographs, or, like there's this, when you're in front of somebody or, sign it, but when we walked around, it was meaning USA, we were the stuff, man.
That's great.
It was humbling.
The dream team of the Olympics, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It was cool, to see that kind of stuff. Respect,
so Dave,
I should say.
Dave, before we get on to the contest, I was just curious. So you do all this bass fishing, but when you're not in a tournament, like what other kind of fish? What's your go-to other than bass fishing?
Speckled trout. I do a lot of saltwater fishing and crappie fishing, crappie, white, whatever you want to call them. Mm-hmm. And the reason is this: bass fishing in a day, if you catch 10 bass in a day to 15, I don't care where you go in the country, that's a pretty decent day. Like you're only talking
two is a good day, by the way. Just for most humans, 2 is a good day.
Now, granted, you might have a few days, to top it, but I'm speaking in general, 10 or 15 bites a day. And a lot of fishing is just muscle memory, retaining attention. Like it's so much more than people think. Fishing is a huge game of chess. So anything that you can do repetitively, so crappie, everybody thinks they're panfish, but dude, those little suckers are smart. And you got to trick them into biting, but you get potentially 50 bites or more a day, but it's all training. It's training. Like when you go saltwater fishing, we're casting and working lures and feeling the bite, muscle memory, blah, blah, the cast, the concentration, the preparation for everything that I keep myself in shape actually with other fish. But the study work that I do for bass, I don't do it like that for any other species. But yeah, as far as training is concerned, and as far as keeping myself fit, don't laugh, but I enjoy dancing. I dance twice a day. I do, man. I enjoy it. I've already danced one dance class today, and I got to go again at 7:00 tonight. So I love to dance.
Is it like the jazz?
Pilates.
I do everything from Zumba to La Blast, which is 6 different genres of dancing, to Hit It, which is refit. It's a cardio dance.
Great cardio, yeah.
Yeah. Any dancing, I kind of keep myself in shape with dancing.
I try and dance with Tina when we go places, but I got 2 left feet and it just doesn't work.
He does
Russ, when you get liquid courage in you, you do loosen up.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah. I think Christian's got a few videos of me.
Yeah, I've got tons of videos.
I have tons too. Yeah.
I'm curious. Have you ever caught a Guadalupe bass?
Yes. At Lake Travis in Texas.
Yeah. Texas state fish. That's what I was wondering. I have yet to catch one. I've been wanting to, and I still can't. And I'm from Texas.
Just
I
go
love
to
fishing,
Lake
but I'm
Travis.
not very good at it.
Go to Lake Travis and go towards the dam, and within an hour you'll have one.
Nice. Nice.
So I caught a muskie once up in northern Michigan, up below the bridge, Grayling, Michigan. I was on a canoe fishing there. It was years ago. Only time I've ever caught one. So is it truly the fish of 1,000 casts?
10,000.
10,000. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I caught it wasn't a huge one or anything, but I was very proud. And I don't think I've ever casted 10,000 times. So I think I got lucky, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah. Most of the fishing I do is red fishing inshore, snook and trout. And a lot of the bass guys that come, even if they're not tournament fishing, but they moved from up north to Florida or whatever, and a lot of the bass guys do well with the the inshore, fishing, because you can pretty much work redfish similar to how you work bass, in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
So what's cool, Dave, is you're going to have 5,000-6,000 people in the logistics industry or truck drivers that watch our show each week. That's just on YouTube. Plus we're on Spotify and a couple other platforms. All of us on here are in trucking or we're drivers at one time or another. Dodie over in the red in the corner of my screen in the red hoodie or shirt has also, not only does he love trucking, but he loves fishing. And he has a bait shop in Tarpon Springs. Is that where
down in Dunedin, Florida?
Dunedin.
Yeah.
It's called Fish Stalkers. So if you ever get down that way, swing in and see Dodie over at Fish Stalkers.
All right.
Hey, good segue, Russ. I got a question. And by the way, that's daviddudley.com for anyone who wants to check out his website and shows all of his wins. And he's more humble because you can look at all the rankings that he's got here. But so speaking of like Mike's shop, my father used to own the Virginia Outdoorsman down at Smith Mountain Lake. And guys would call, Mike Sneed. And so people would call in, and I don't know who they were. The guys, I mean, he's like, well, that's Van Damme. I'm like, well, that's great. Is it Jean-Claude? Like, I don't know who he was at the time. I've since learned my son's a huge fisherman now, but, they would call in and they would have certain baits, and they basically say, hey, do you have so many of these? And it might be a pearl white fluke or a green pumpkin, whatever. And they'd put them in a bag and put them in the back. And there was a almost like an honor code that if I call and ask for this, you put in a bag, you staple it, you keep it back there, and nobody really knows what I'm going to be fishing with. Is that what happens when you go to different areas? Does that still occur? Or do you pretty much bring stuff with you now that we've got everything at our fingertips at Bass Pro?
Yeah, the fishing has gotten refined so well with lures and stuff. It's stuff we were using way back when is, almost obsolete now, and the world has changed. But I've never done that myself. Of course I've called, and not to try to be secretive and be like, hey, staple them and put them in the back.
Right.
But I have in the last 25 years, I've called some and, hey, you got this, please put it aside. I'll be there in 20 minutes,
Yeah.
But here's the thing of fishing. You can give a racquetball player the same, you can give him a $20 racket. He's still going to whoop you. It doesn't matter. I can give you every bait. Like it happens in the boat every day. Like people who are in the same boat with you have the same lure, same rod, same everything, but one angler's going to outshine the other. So it happens. It happens a lot more on the lower level. Like people get all secret. Like on the upper level, it's like, hey, how'd you do today? Well, I caught 5 today on a white pearl fluke and this hook and this line, and I had this, but it doesn't matter. Like it don't. Like it. Who cares? Like,
'cause you're at the top at that level. You guys, it's technique. It's like you said, muscle memory. It's skill.
It's so much. Like it's so much that goes on to it, and like the game is the game of bass or fishing in general. It's such a game of chess. Like you got to be 5 moves ahead. Well, if you're a professional chess player, you're like 2,000 moves ahead. But if in bass fishing, whatever, I'm saying 5, but y'all get the point. You got to be way ahead and thinking that far ahead and being able to process what's happening at that moment. And that's what separates. It's not that we got the coolest tackle and our rod is more sensitive than your rod. And it's like, be quiet. Like, get out of here with that. That's just magazine talk,
Yeah.
Like, there's so much more that goes on in beyond bass fishing or just fishing in general. That's what separates a good angler from an excellent angler. It doesn't, you can have all the head knowledge and you can answer every question you want. You can know the game of basketball better than, LeBron James, the rules and what you do and what you should do. But when LeBron goes into that paint and he senses to do a backspin to the left, fadeaway jumper, and he knew where they were at, you can't teach that.
Can't touch it. Yeah.
You can't, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have in fishing. I can't, and I've always said this, the one thing in life you cannot never teach. You can't teach this. You cannot teach instinct. You can have all the whatever you want, but I cannot tell you why I picked a trolling motor up and left, why I decided to put a spinnerbait down at that cast and pick up a crankbait. I can't tell you why the instinctual things that happen on the water. I can't tell you that I just realized that a set of clouds was coming and I knew in 5 minutes I'm getting ready to pick up a buzzbait and catch one, where most people didn't realize that set of clouds and didn't prepare to move over to a bank that I just saw them on. And I saw the clouds coming. I waited till they got over that bank, went over there and caught 3. Like, that's being 5 steps ahead of somebody. You can't teach that. Like,
that's why you're
try.
number 2 in the world.
Yeah. When I see clouds coming, I think it's time to pack it up and go home. So we're different people.
So just like dancing, I'm really bad at fishing too. I loved fishing growing up and gotten away from it over the years, been busy. But I remember I remember reading that the largest largemouth bass was caught in Alabama. I don't remember what it weighed. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I think it's by Bill Perry. Yeah. I think it's still the world record. The world record was actually beaten, but you have to beat it by 2 ounces. In order for a record to be broken, it has to be 2 ounces or more. The actual world record was broken by Dottie. The bass name was Dottie in California, but it only broke the world record by 1 ounce.
So it didn't count.
No. Yeah. But, taking a bass way back then, and what's that?
It sounds like a job for 2 ounce weight.
Pair of pliers.
That's great.
That was hardcore right there. That was dropping mic.
Yeah, that's crazy. So let's give away some money. We did this a year ago. We were on what episode is this, Kumar? 75?
76.
76. So we do this every week. 76 weeks in. We've last year we did the same fishing contest, and actually Christian Sneed on screen there, his son won first place.
Yeah.
And we had an independent judge last year who knew nothing about who it was or anything. So we were pretty mad that Christian's son won because he's on the show every week.
It's because I win everything on the show.
He wins everything.
Yeah, it's usually just against Russ. Actually, I just win when Russ is involved.
So what did you think about the finalists that we sent you, that Kumar sent you, when you started looking at the photos?
All the photos, it was hard for me to pick. It really was. I had to go scroll through them like 5 times, and I kept changing my mind. I was like, man, look at that. That was awesome. And then I'd be like, oh, man, it was tough. It was tough. That's really the first time I've ever been selected to choose a photo for a winner. So it was kind of stressful, actually. I was like, well, I want them to win, and this picture looks good. And then I'm looking at the shit, and then I was just like, so hopefully I'm sure the people who win will be happy, but it's not because the people, whoever submitted those in, they were awesome. All those pictures are awesome. Yeah. I enjoyed looking at all of them, and I appreciate y'all sending them in. And I really, if they would have gave me a chance to let all of y'all win, I would have. But that's
very cool.
Pinned us down to 3.
So that shirt that Joel has on, Joel's where it says Wide World Sports, that's a Talkin Truckin shirt. We just ordered those. They're long sleeves.
Oh, don't need to stand up.
We're gonna Kumar will get your size. He'll email you, and we'll have him send you one for taking care of us and judging this. We really appreciate it. And so, having said that, who was in third place?
I got a screen share here.
For $150, Dave.
Third place.
Nice.
Wow, what kind of fish is that?
My. It's a dolphin. My. And the reason I chose that was like naturally they have great colors. You know, it's always great to see female anglers, and just the way she's holding it, respecting it, and those fish change color very quick. So you can tell she took good care, even though she just caught it. That was a quick picture. Her smile was good. You know, you could tell the excitement. So that's one of the reasons I chose that one. Is just
Kumar, who is that?
This was submitted by Jack Suarez, so I'm guessing that might be his wife. So
okay, so
that's $150.
$150 to Jack Suarez wife.
I know that. I don't think
Jack submitted it, so it's Jack's money.
Yeah, I don't think that's Jack's. I don't think that's Jack's wife. But
so know Jack, okay. Mike?
Yeah, he's part of the fishing league I'm in.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the one who submitted it. I have all the names with him.
Yeah, he probably did. He fishes.
We'll contact him, Kumar, and find out who she is and get her a check out from Talkin Truckin for $150.
All right.
So, all right.
For a second.
So, David, what do you think? Who is going to win $300 for second place?
Christian's son.
No.
This is second place.
Second place.
Danny Trevino.
I just thought it was so cool that these kids were, you know, just getting down with the fish, putting thumbs up. They won't scared to get dirty. The one kid doesn't have shoes on. You could tell. I just thought it was such a cool, original picture, like having a fun time creating fishing, like instead of a grip and grin, right? That's what you call it. Yeah. It was a creative picture. Kids were involved, you know,
and
just
love
having
seeing
a blast.
Kids fishing. I love that. Yeah.
What is that?
Yes. I thought that was just a cool picture.
What kind of fish is it?
That's a wahoo.
Wahoo.
Oh, okay.
Fish tacos.
Yep. And that was Danny Trevino submitted that. So
okay.
Guessing that's his kids.
Congrats, Danny.
That's awesome. Yeah. So $300 to Danny Trevino's kids for
what is third
the
place?
wahoo. That's second place.
That was second.
No, I know, but how much is third?
150.
150 for the first, 300 for second. And so, Mr. Dudley, who's going to win $500 in the Talkin Truckin summer fishing contest?
All right, here we go. Oh, that's third. There we go.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
I just thought that was cool. My man had caught a grouper and it's just like, or is that? No, that's a snapper. Yeah, snapper. Excuse me. But just I don't know. Just cool. That's a guy chilling out, catching a grouper. Snapper, and just I don't know. I just thought it was cool background. The clouds in the back. You could tell that was a genuine, like, oh yeah, this is mine. You know, I just thought it was cool.
Yeah,
looks like
a big hogfish too.
He sent some good fish.
He called off work that day. He's having a great time.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Jeff Groves.
What's his name?
300 to 500.
Jeff Groves.
Okay. Yes, congratulations, Jeff Groves. $500. So are we going to do it the same way we did it last year? We let them choose their Gander Mountain or Bass Pro Shops, their store of choice, and we get them a gift card, Kumar, or are we just sending them a check? It doesn't matter to me. How do we do it?
We can do the gift card thing.
Okay. So you reach out to them and let them know they've won. Very cool picture. I like that a lot too.
They all already know. They're all in my fishing group, the ones that won.
Oh, he just texted them. That's great.
But if it's easier for you, you guys don't have to go out and get the gift cards if you don't want. I mean, whatever you guys want to do. I'm just.
We should get them to
they
your
won't care
store,
either
Mike,
way.
so they can all go in your store.
Yeah, we'll get it to
You
get
want
a card and some mics.
Mike one.
We won't switch it up on them like that.
That's great. Well, Mr. Dudley, what a pleasure and honor to have one of the world's greatest fishermen on our show. You're thoroughly entertaining. I wish I was as good of a dancer as you probably are, and I wish I was as good of a fisherman. You're welcome to be a part of it next year. We're going to do the same thing. Hopefully, we'll be able to up it a little bit. We upped it this year. Hopefully, we'll be able to do the same next year.
All right. Well,
I'll be watching for
you
you on
guys,
cable.
I appreciate y'all giving me. Appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to be on, and
awesome.
Call anytime you need another guest. I'll be more than willing to help.
That'd be great. And
Just go and slay him, would you?
What's that, Christian?
I was saying, just tell them to go and slay him. We got 27 countries. Go slay him.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We need to bring home a gold for sure.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll get you the long sleeve shirts we just ordered. Joel has it on. Kumar will get one in the mail for you.
Medium.
He wants medium, Kumar.
Medium. Got it.
Perfect. Well, Dave, thanks. Have a great, safe evening, and we appreciate you.
Yep.
All right.
Dave.
Bye.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
All right.
That was really cool.
That was cool.
That was neat.
Yeah. What did you think of
I
that?
learned one thing.
What?
I got to find better worms.
I get, yeah.
So he said 4 million in career earnings. That's likely not
4.6.
sponsored. 4.6, but that's not with sponsorships, right? That's just
Right.
career
No,
earnings,
that's just
right?
what he won. His
Yeah.
sponsor
What
that
he won in
doesn't-
tournaments.
makes a
Yeah.
much more off sponsors, especially with those
Yeah.
wins.
Yep.
Trish, what did you think of that?
Fantastic. We need to go fishing someplace else because we spent 5 days on one lake up here and we caught 2 fish.
Yeah, you're not getting enough bites.
He was
Not
talking
enough
about,
bites.
he was talking about 15 in a day. You caught 2
Trish.
in 4 days.
It's
That's
like,
all in the instant.
Right.
Trish,
See the
it's
clouds
chess, not checkers. Remember that. That was really cool. I'm really excited. I'm glad these the fishing contests, the people that won, those were great pictures. And let's make sure those kids get the money.
Yes.
Mike, tell your friends that won second place. Those kids get the money.
Yeah, we want to
Yeah,
see them
that's,
with the stuff they bought with it.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I think those might even be his grandkids. That's pretty cool.
That's
I don't think they're his
perfect,
kids. Yeah. So it'll definitely go to the kids there.
Hey, Kumar, see if you can get Dave to sign a headshot to send to the kids, too. Some of them might start following him around a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That was fun.
So we're going to change gears a little bit. I got Trish on with us. I've been working with Trish all week up here. It's been great. And, we've talked about PC before. I'm not going to go there. But we were talking a little bit, and over the years, Trish and I have talked about annotations on logs. One thing that is important, and drivers chime in whenever you want, if you put good notes and you get in whether it be an accident or whatever, or an inspection, and the DOT officer's looking at it and you've got good notes, you've got clean logs, how much better does that feel than if you just went on duty, nothing, or on duty you should have put checking in the receiver or shipper, but instead there's nothing on duty, or log audits. Trish and I were talking about that this week. I get it. I used to leave myself on duty, go in after my pre-trip, and I'd forget to go off duty when I'm filling up my thermos or getting something to take on the road with me for lunch or whatever, and then I'd come out and I'd like, oh man, I forgot to go off duty after my pre-trip, and then I would edit it. Those are understandable things. But when they see, Trish, how many times have you seen pre-trips or post-trips, or get a shipper receiver on duty time, and then you see it edited down and shaved to save time? I'm sure you've seen it all the time, right, Trish?
We do. We see it all the time. It's one of those things that I call on. It has to, red flags for DOT, any edit, any change, they're going to look at those. The annotations are critical. Particularly if you're changing an on duty to off duty, they're going to look at that as manipulating your 70 false log situations, which can cost you and us as a company big bucks. If you're going to go in and make an edit from particularly an on duty to an off duty, I need some specifics. What happened? Correction or change doesn't cut it. It's going to put you in a bad position with an officer. It's going to put you in the money loss category with DOT.
And not just our company, Trish. There's a lot of drivers that listen from other big companies, but it's the same with them. You know, that's putting your company in a situation and yourself in a bad situation. So log audits, sleeper versus off duty. That's a big one. Ray, when you're in the truck at night, when you stop and do your post trip, whatever, where are you going? Are you going off duty? You're sleeping in the truck, or are you going sleeper?
Sleeper.
Yeah. Sleeper is your friend. Trish and I were talking about that this week. I always use sleeper because if you don't have a hotel receipt, you could get a ticket. Doesn't mean you're going to. Some officer might be nice, but if you're off duty, they can ask you for a hotel receipt.
First thing that he's going to ask you is where'd you sleep last night? And if you say the truck, there's a ticket right in your hand.
Why didn't you log sleeper? That could be a false log, right?
Yep, false log. Mm-hmm.
So those are a couple things we wanted to remind you about with your annotations and how you're logging. 8-2-7-3 splits. We did go over that a few weeks ago, Christian, I believe, Mike. Basically, Creech, I think we were talking about it with you and Traveling Mike. But 8 hours in the sleeper will freeze. It's the only way to stop your 14-hour clock. It'll freeze it. If you got time left on your 14, you can use this 8-hour sleeper or a 7-hour sleeper. And Trish, is it the same thing, or whoever wants to chime in, because I know they changed it a few years ago. I wasn't on the road then, but the 7-3, it's the same thing, right? You log, yeah.
Yep. It's any combination 7-3-8-2. The only thing that's going to stop that is the 7, 8, or 10. Your other times aren't going to stop it. If you're doing a 5 and 5 split, that's not going to actually freeze your clock. You can still do it, but it's not going to freeze your clock.
Yeah.
You got to have that minimum of 7 hours.
So on those 7-3s, I guess it's the same, but can you do
not true.
It's not true?
That's been changed. A 2 or a 3, if you log it as part of your sleeper berth break, it will stop your clock and extend your 14.
So that's what I'm asking. Can you do a 3 or a 2 first?
Yes.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be 8 or 7 first.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Used to be that you had to do that. 8 was the only thing that would do it, but now you can do 2, 3, 7, or 8.
Okay. And that's what I remember is you had to do the 8 first to get to freeze that clock, that 14. So
I still wonder why they never did a 9-1.
I don't know. Traveling Mike, you got any idea or any opinion on that? Wow. Probably not enough time with 1 hour.
Yeah, you're not really unwinding enough or relaxing enough in an hour by their view. I don't have any idea. I mean, it's the way they come up with these hours of service rules is rather interesting. Anyhow, it's a lot of people that don't have anything to do with transportation making them up.
Yeah, in my opinion, they should just do away with the whole 14, and we'll go with the 11. But we're not the lawmakers that make these laws.
Bring back the 5 and 5.
We have to abide by it.
5 and 15 works good for us.
Yeah.
Do away with the 14 and 70. Just let a 10-hour reset is the only thing that resets your 11-hour driving clock, and let the guys run.
I don't know. I just wish they'd bring back the paper.
The paper.
Oh, Jim.
He has stock in.
We can't read half these guys in paper.
It's only because he's carbon printed. Never mind. We won't go there.
I just had so much more fun doing my job when I had paper logs instead of an electric one.
It's a lot of work writing in 3 different books, though, Jim.
Yeah, but you get used to it.
The problem with today is we have so many computers that penmanship would be out of control. We wouldn't be able to understand what was being written.
Yeah, well, can't read my writing anyway.
Yeah,
Thank God for electronic logs.
Yeah.
So another one, Ray, Kevin, Nate, Jim, Creech, Traveling Mike, yard moves. I never used this, and when I was on e-logs before I got out of a truck, but you can go, and Trish and I were talking about this the other day. I think a lot of drivers don't understand that if you're in a shipper receiver and you're moving around, you can go on yard move. It's not going to count against your 11 you're driving. And also you can go over 14 hours on, is that right, Trish? I think I'm right.
I still can't get fuel.
It just comes off your 70.
It just comes off your 70.
Yeah, but you can move. You can move beyond your 14, and just have to do a 10 once you're done with that yard move. Or if you're ran out of time at a receiver and you're using yard move, then you're able to PC to a rest area or a safe haven. Correct.
Where I find the yard move most handy, and I don't use it very often, is when I come into a truck stop, and it's a big truck stop, and I am right down my last minute. I'll go to yard move just to go around the truck stop to find a parking space.
Yep. As soon as you hit the parking lot, you can use that yard move and find a place to park. You can pull. When you get up in the morning, want to move up to the front, get ready to fuel and do your pre-trip fuel island. You can come out of your parking spot on a yard move and move up there, and it won't start your 11 hours driving. It's just your 14 and start.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, Trish, can you hear me?
His fuel card's not working.
Yeah, I still can't get fuel.
Let me holler at somebody and see if they can look at it. Give me just a second. Let me.
Hey, Russ.
Meanwhile, at the fuel island, Ray can't get fuel.
Russ.
Yeah.
So I had a driver pick up in Columbus yesterday, Ohio, going to Atlanta. Couldn't find parking from Rocky Top, Tennessee to Cartersville, Georgia. Had to get on the on-ramp this morning behind 8 other trucks. About 5:30 this morning, Georgia State Troopers knock on his door. Tell him he's got to go.
When the state troopers knock on your door, I'm Christian, Traveling Mike, I think I'm right about this. You can use PC to go to another safe haven, right?
It's 30 miles from the receiver.
Yes, you can.
Correct, but it has to be the very next one.
Did you say he drove 30 miles to the receiver?
He drove all the way, except he was 30 miles from his receiver, so he had to go find parking. He had to reset his 10-hour, missed his delivery, and had to reset his 10-hour.
Shouldn't have had to reset his 10-hour PCs and off-duty functions.
So he didn't use
If he had 10 hours straight, that would have given it straight.
He didn't use PC, Mike.
He broke his reset. He broke his rest break. He didn't use PC.
So Joel, what he should have done is called in and got PC and moved, and then he would have been fine. He could have went to wherever he needed to go to, and then back sleeper, and his break
receiver
would
was closer than the truck stop. Could he have went there on PC?
Yeah. Oh, right.
No.
Sure. No,
because you're advancing the load.
Cannot go to a customer. You have to go to a nearest safe parking location that's not a customer to not be in violation.
Can he park on the street?
Trish, for the record, I know this isn't questions with Kumar, but I got that one right and Russ didn't.
Yeah.
You did. I noticed.
Well, can he park
He's there
out
in front of you? I'm not.
Can he park outside on the street in front of the shipper? I mean, receiver, whatever.
I wouldn't get real close.
Well, here's a good question on that.
Also, make sure you get the officer's name. It comes in handy when they're doing that audit later on. A badge number, name, something, instructed to leave parking or instructed to move by officer so-and-so.
Yeah.
And it's a CYA game. We all
really
know
good.
that.
That goes back to the annotations.
That's right.
Making sure that your annotations are descriptive and informative.
And Joel, if he moved on PC, if he moved on PC, to like Traveling Mike said, get the officer's information, and so he knows to put those in his notes. This is who told him to move. He moves on PC, doesn't go to the shipper. He passes it up and goes to a truck stop. He didn't break his a 10-hour break, so he can get up and then if he had, and then when his break's up and go into his shipper on duty drive, and he would have been fine. That's where he went wrong.
Or the other compromise that I heard was that Russ said go to the shipper. Trish said McDonald's. So a receiver. So I guess if he went to the McDonald's and got the yard truck from across the street to deliver his load, he still would have been fine as well.
Loud and clear. Read that.
If
well, see, and I have a question about this. So in his situation, having to move, and actually the closest safe haven would be the receiver. If I wouldn't have used PC and have just violated and went to the receiver anyway, because it's technically the closest safe place to go, I mean, you'd still be there to deliver your load, but
you're also advancing load. That's what they were saying, Nate. So technically that would be wrong, right?
Right. But I mean, that's just the way my mind works.
Well, that's the way mine worked. I just said that.
Forced to advance the load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just said that.
He's saying don't use PC. If you're violating your on duty, go ahead and go there. You're not PCing, so you can advance a load when you're not on PC.
Trish, you're not gonna like to hear this, but if I were in those shoes, I would have went straight to the receiver. I'm sorry.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I mean, I would have probably. Yeah, I mean,
you can pull the man up the truck, but you can't pull the truck out the man. All right. So, are you still there, Trish? Are you alive?
I think she's working on.
I was just hanging out trying to get Ray's fuel card taken care of, but I kind of thought I heard somebody say that they would have went directly to the receiver.
That was Christian.
That was Christian.
Yeah, you're gonna have to punish him tomorrow.
Owner of
Yeah, I'm glad. That was Dodie.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Well, anyway,
didn't hear that.
but hey, yeah, I get it, and really the right, let's just put it out there, the right thing to do. PC to the safe haven. You don't mess up your break, and then you can get up in the morning or a few hours later, finish your load and deliver. So that's the right way to do it.
Highwaymen finding it more difficult to park out there late at night. It just seems like I'm having more and more drivers tell me they're having trouble finding parking.
Everybody's having that problem. From even up here in Montana, it's the same thing. We used to never see any trucks up here parked on the on-ramps, off-ramps, but I mean, you're actually seeing more and more of it. It's weird. I mean, I know Texas for sure. They have problems with parking. I mean, if you're not parked by 3 o'clock in the afternoon or have a reserved pay spot, you're up a creek.
Yeah.
Oh, go look at 77 going through Charlotte or Charleston, West Virginia. Right there before you get to the first toll booth, every night you'll see about 30, 40, 50 trucks just parking on the shoulder right there.
It's so dangerous. I mean, that's the thing that, is the big problem is that's where my concern comes in for you guys is safety and, accidents, people not paying attention, coming up the on-ramp, rear end somebody. It's not safe.
And drivers are backed into a corner. They got to park, Yep. And what do you do?
Well, I come down to I got 1 hour left on my driving time when I'm for the day.
You're looking for parking.
I go on to my tablet and I look for the little mom and pop places that got like 5 or 10 truck stop parking spaces, and you can usually make a space there. You can't go to the big truck stops. There is no space to make there.
I probably shouldn't say this because now next week they'll be all filled up with trucks parking there. But we had a driver really smart about this. He parked at where their Planet Fitness was his gym, and he would park. He would go to his gym, and he could park behind the building. You remember that, Joel? I don't know if it was.
It was one of my guys. Yeah,
it was one of your guys.
Yeah.
So he
was doing that too for a minute.
He'd park in the back, and he had a membership, so he'd go in and work out, got a shower, everything, and there was no other trucks parked around.
Did you say Planet Fitness?
Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah, it was LA Fitness.
LA Fitness or whatever. Yeah.
LA Fitness and Planet Fitness both allow that. I used to do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, so it was. I was pretty amazed when he's like, "Oh yeah, that's where I park every night, and I get a shower, I get to work out, I even get the massage beds, all that stuff." So,
So what do you guys think? What kind of grant do you think it would take for the government to solve this? I'm looking at what was Buttigieg announced 2 days ago, but what kind of money, if you had to guess, would fix parking problems if the government could solve it?
Did they put out a number?
I don't think there's any number, is there?
It's got to be billions.
Yeah, $5 billion.
It'll just get swindled
the good
away
news.
anyways.
The good news is they just wrote a check there. It announces a $40 million grant.
It's
to
not even
expand
close
truck
to
parking.
it.
No,
But that's something.
So
I
that's
mean,
going to make 2 parking spots.
We'll get one.
Yeah, but you got to think of what that money's going to. They haven't announced it outright, but you see all the new projects that are popping up here since that bill has gone out. All they're doing is just revamping all the current stuff. They're not building anything new.
Yeah, probably going to Brett Favre's pocket.
I think it was. I think it was you, Mackie, that mentioned in a conversation with me at one point, or could have been on the show, about in the wider sections of highways where you could put in.
It was Ray that said that.
Ray, okay, where you could put in parking for long stretches of the highway in wider sections where it can be safe. I mean, they do it down in Florida. There's rest areas on the Sun Turnpike, right, Mike, where they're in the middle of the 2 lanes. That's a great idea. There's highways everywhere, and if you can start, whether it's widening some of those lanes when you put them in, but you can put them for long miles. I thought that was a great idea, Ray. I didn't realize it was you.
Well, not only that,
I'd even suggested putting them in on the medians.
Well, that's what we're talking about in the middle, though.
Yeah.
Even in Texas, they got a lot of areas where, when you come up to an exit and there's like a bridge that rolls across, like right on that inner lot of where the exit, between the exit and the bridge, a lot of those in Texas, they'll turn into parking lots as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Your fuel card should be working.
Okay. They're not said parking lots, but a lot of people park, and really the DOT doesn't bother nobody if you're parked there.
Tony, what were you going to say about that?
No, just a lot of. I mean, you got to think there's a lot of empty land out there. Whether the state owns it, and the state might own some, cities might own some, or whether they do or they don't. They could whoever. If something would work for parking, maybe they could go to whoever owns it and lease it back to the state or city and make it just truck parking if it's just sitting there. You know what I mean? Empty land or whatever the case is. Parking in a bathroom. That's all you need. It doesn't even have to have restaurants or anything. Just somewhere to park for 10 hours.
Right. Hey, something to add to that. How many retired way stations have you passed? On the roads.
Oh yeah, they're all over the place. In Ohio, a lot of them are closed. They block them off
everywhere.
They block them off.
Closed all over the place.
Right, they're blocked off, and it says "Do not enter," "No trespassing," whatever.
I can think of the one on 77 going towards New Philly, and then right out here on 76 coming east. That one's been permanently closed, and it's closed up.
Here's another thing too, and I know Trish, you can cut out. We appreciate you coming on. I know you have some work to do at the top of the hour, which we're hitting that, but we appreciate you coming on. We're going to continue talking about this for a second. So. When I was driving, I was afraid. I was looking for a place to park many times, and it was late, and I had to start my day late, so I was coming in way late. And there was parking spots at a way station. The way station was closed, but I knew it was going to be open, whatever time in the morning, and I was afraid to park there because you know what they do? They make you circle back around and go through the scale and a potential, inspection or anything. So I would pass it up and be in an unsafe parking place, whether it be on an on-ramp, an off-ramp, or I never did on the side of the road. I'd park it behind a somewhere else. I was just afraid to be on the side of the road. Everybody should be, but that's a thing too.
You're trying to tell us you weren't confident with your free trips?
Wow.
That's my comment.
No, he was just more confident in their ability to find it.
Yeah. But when they're searching for something, Mike, they can find it.
They're going to find it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so that should be something that should be addressed at some point. A driver shouldn't be afraid to pull into a scale house when they're closed just because they're afraid they're going to be scrutinized when they leave in the morning. You'd rather them be in a safe spot. That's just one of the thoughts I
My
had.
opinion is on that is I just don't know what the attitude of the officer is going to be in the morning. Did somebody cut him off on the way there? Now he's all pissed off.
Well, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe there should be something that, look, if drivers come in there as a safe haven at night, when they open up in the morning, they should let all those guys leave and then start, the ones coming off the highway when they open that scale doing their stuff. Just a thought, you would have more guys getting into safer spots if that was, if you were able to do that.
And Russ,
talk about safer spots. It just happened to me a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago it was. I thought I was in a safe spot. I was in an industrial area. I parked in the car parking zone right across from my customer for delivery.
What city was it in?
Memphis.
There we go.
And I woke up and my trailer door was wide open. I had a padlock on it. It was sealed, and I never did find the padlock, but the seal was laying on the ground right there beside it. They broke in my trailer. They damaged some product. They stole some product, and I thought I was safe.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. Was that the emails that were floating around that what got damaged? I guess it was.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that last week. I didn't know it was you, Jim.
Yeah, it was.
Well, so they did show that just 5 days ago, FMCSA did announce in Montana that they awarded $1.4 million in grant funding. And the OIDA did send a letter to the DOT earlier in the year saying that 98% of the drivers report problems finding safe parking, costing the drivers more than 56 minutes of drive time on average to find parking, waste an estimated $5,000 loss in their annual compensation, which is roughly 12% pay cut. So there was $47 billion that was earmarked as part of the infrastructure bill for parking as well. So they do it, and that does start with a B. That's not the 40 million that they contributed 2 days ago, but that was 47 billion that had some money tied up in there for parking as well.
Wow.
So this new bill that they funded, is that going to start relatively soon, where they're going to start tackling some, or at least spending that on parking? Do you know?
It doesn't say that. They just talk about when they greenlight the money, not how it's distributed or any timelines.
Right. Then
you already had that answer, didn't you?
It is you make more loves.
Out of the 40 million or whatever that you get, it ends up trickling down to 5 million for
125 spots. Right.
Yeah.
And when I said it, what I mentioned, I know it's a temporary fix and not even that it would work, but if you just look around, especially close to these cities or just outside of a Dallas or something, there's empty, you know what I mean? Especially commercial properties after COVID, there's empty lots and. You know what I mean? A commercial property. There's things.
I wish I owned a dozen Kmart's. I wish I owned a dozen old Kmart's. Right?
That's what I'm saying. There's places to utilize for truck parking. They could, temporary till all that money gets spent on whatever it's going to get spent on. We'll see how much more parking gets added.
It comes down to the reason why we cannot park at Walmart's anymore, because the truck drivers that we have out here nowadays are pigs. And they litter the lots.
That's true.
That's
Jim.
true.
There we go. That's the
so
main
true.
reason.
So true. Or
maybe you give Walmart's maybe they use some of this money to give Walmart's some money to clean up after the pigs, and a little incentive to let you park back there again. You can't fix
another
stupid,
thing is with Walmart's parking lots is that they are paved according to cars driving on them, not big rigs sleeping there.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to tear up the parking lots too.
Got to pay them to pick up all the tangerine bottles.
What's that, Ray?
You got to pay somebody to pick up all the Tang bottles.
Yes. There you go.
There's another big problem that we've talked about.
Okay.
I wish you guys safe travels. Be careful, be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Peace out, Trish. Don't
Thanks,
pick on me
Trish.
tomorrow.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I was talking to Charles earlier. He had stopped by here at the office. He was talking about a bill that someone's trying to get through where facilities that allow parking cannot have paid parking if they sell fuel, and it other way around as well. So it'll be interesting because there is too much paid parking out there. It needs to all be free. Well, not all.
I don't agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's a double-sided coin, because
I don't agree either.
Yeah, somebody that wants to pay to park so they can reserve a spot ahead of time, they're planning ahead. I mean, they should, there's a lot of guys that utilize that.
Yeah. I get
now,
it.
I don't agree with paid parking when you don't have the ability to reserve it, which that's a lot of the mom and pops. You need to have something on your website that at least allows us to reserve it in advance.
I got a question too. And how many times have you pulled up to a truck stop where there is paid parking? They're all sold out, but you see 3 or 4 empty, and in the morning you wake up, they're still empty.
Right.
Most of the time when it comes to that, what happens is drivers are out of time and they just pull up into a parking spot because they have no choice. And you walk in and say, look, I reserved this parking spot, but there's no parking spots. And they look at you and go, yeah, we can't help you.
Yeah. Do they refund your money?
No.
I mean, they'll refund. I've had it both ways. I've had them go out and wake up a driver and move, and I've had them tell me we're not doing that anymore because we've been held up at gunpoint by a driver saying I'm not moving.
Right. Maybe they're out of hours,
Yeah. I mean, they're out of hours and they refuse to move. I can't blame the guy, but.
Yeah. Well, if you're running through North Carolina, Kevin's got a whole bunch of land. You can just pull on into Kevin's place, and anybody's welcome to park there, right, Kevin?
Can't wait to throw my old Gatorade bottles in your yard for free.
It's tame.
I'd be more worried about his mom coming out of the back door with something in her hand, want to know who the hell that is. Like
she's serving his breakfast
and free breakfast. With parking, you get free
Bacon
breakfast
in her
at
hand.
Kevin's.
No, that actually happened to Nathan once. Matter of fact, when he started here, she drove back there to find out who it was.
There is another big issue with the parking that we've talked about a bunch of times here recently in the news segments. Even if we do get the ability to make new spots, you've got too many cities, counties, whatever, that are petitioning for their city hall and everything. No, ban trucks. We don't want them here.
Yeah, there was a town, Ian, who was that recently?
Oh,
was it
man, there's been so many. I see them every
There's
week.
been so many.
Minneapolis that you couldn't park at all unless you're in a dock, I guess, delivering, but you can't park anywhere.
Yeah, or a truck stop.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, this has been, we could go on and on and on with parking and stuff because it's a huge problem. Some great ideas that you guys had, but let's get on to some trucking news with Ian. Ian, can you run through the news?
Yeah. Let me find my mouse. Oh, there it is. Okay. Here we go. This week in history, it was a bad time to be a scab. Over in Missouri, striking workers shot at a vehicle or at a truck that was, still running with a scab worker in it. And it just happened to be carrying dynamite. And,
What year did that happen?
1970, about 52 years ago.
Yep. I remember reading about that story.
Yeah, left a 30-foot deep, 50-foot wide crater in the middle of the highway. It was on an I-44. There were 3 suspects that had been charged. I think one of them was sentenced. Yeah, it says 99 years and ended up serving 8 of it.
What year was this?
1970.
He gets sentenced for 99 and he served 8.
Yeah.
Call it the luck of the Irish. Good Lord. He
good
blew
behavior.
He had really good behavior. I mean,
Really
the
good
best behavior.
He was the best.
Wow.
But yeah, absolutely crazy. I mean, I wonder if they knew it was carrying dynamite, if they just wanted to damage the equipment,
It was the dock workers versus the drivers, and the dock workers got pissed off the drivers were still moving. The guy who shot at it did know it was dynamite and wanted to make a statement.
Wow. Well, he made a big
That's
one.
some mob stuff.
Yeah.
I can remember taking some aluminum with my cousin when I was doing my first year of training to General Dynamics in Dallas area, and they were on strike.
This is in 1901.
No, I think it was 1981. And it was not fun. The next day, I know a driver went in there, had a brick thrown through his windshield.
Wow.
And I would never do that again.
Yeah, you never want to cross a picket line, that's for sure.
No.
Never.
I've
All
had
right.
to do that twice. It's terrifying.
Moving on, though. So this is something I didn't know about. FMCSA does not allow usage, or clearinghouse does not allow usage of hair follicle test when drug testing. It is urine only, basically, or breath for alcohol tests. There's a bunch of groups that are trying to fight this, but there are some groups that are trying to make it so that you can use hair follicle test. But did you guys even know about that? I had no idea.
No, I didn't.
No.
I
I thought they accepted it for sure.
Yep.
They're trying to fight that, and we'll see what happens there.
DOT's actually talking about swapping over to a saliva test to start using for trying to see if there's a way to make weed legal for truckers for medical.
Interesting.
Oh my god.
This is a little bit of local news here. Over in Youngstown, Ohio, a driver had lost control, spilled a bunch of milk all over the highway, ended up getting charged, having a fine of $99.
Don't got milk anymore.
Got milk.
I was surprised. I feel like every time you hear about these fines and stuff, it's all
failure to control, milk all over the highway, and the fine was $99.
$99. Usually, I feel like it'd be more than that. At least 100.
I feel like there's more crates than gallons of milk when I look up towards the walls. That just me.
I don't know. Maybe they're all smashed behind that. Oh, this is a great one. Michigan trucker believes he encountered, shot the dog man.
Shot the dog. He's asking for his dog. So
Okay, we can go to the next. We're not entertaining
No, this is
your
a
weird
heavy-hitting
fantasies.
Yeah, we're really getting into the good stuff. But basically, he was out
Sci-Fi Channel
driving around and thought he saw this creature and decided, I need to start shooting at it.
How many logbooks did he have?
He had 0, Austin.
Yeah.
No.
When they went to check his logbook, they found LSD next to it. Come on.
Oh man, yeah,
and
there
they
was some funny
proceeded
stuff
to
here,
hair
but-
test him.
Yeah.
Oh, this one was good. Oh, am I gonna have sound come through here? We'll see. No. Okay, so this was a driver who decided to see what would happen if he went into I think it was a Hilton to try and get continental
Hampton.
breakfast, Hampton or whatever it is.
So just
to try
go in and have the free breakfast.
Yeah, there he says. He says good morning to the.
I mean,
person up
it's
front.
kind of clever.
Yeah.
I've thought about that for sure.
Yeah, 100%. All the time in college.
I plead the fifth.
So now we're gonna start seeing every hotel next to a highway filled with guys with
Trucks.
Bluetooth headsets in the morning. But yeah, no, he got away with it.
It's not an uncommon thing.
He's making waffles. Yeah, I knew it.
Guys, if you want to know, this is a rookie move. You've got to wait till the doors open in the back after normal hours and come in from the side or back entrance.
Right, I
So it
wouldn't
looks
go
like
through
you
the-
actually go there.
Yeah, I
and take
agree.
your gym bag with you, so
There
that way
we
it looks
go.
like you've stayed.
Take a rolling suitcase, something.
Yeah.
Oh, he's loading up too.
Oh yeah, the waffles. Look at all that. That looks like a pretty good continental breakfast, though.
He takes it back out to the truck.
He said that he was even in there talking to the other guests, acting like he was staying there. And yeah.
Wow.
All right, this is something I've heard about for a long time. It's nice to see someone getting in trouble for it. Trucker was stealing another guy's fuel and got caught. Jim, you've had fuel stolen, right?
No.
No. I'm trying to think who it
No,
was.
I've never had fuel
I think
stolen.
Lee.
Lee.
I know Lee did because it was one week, and you really got to pay attention to your fuel and fuel mileage because he didn't even realize it until he got his pay, and we went back, and his fuel was high that week, and he was in a new truck. His fuel was super high, and I went back and I looked at his miles and where
When
he
he
ran
fueled.
and where he fueled, and
He
pretty much
fueled back to back without the miles.
yeah, pretty much he fueled. I think it was in Arizona, and he fueled and parked for the night, and then I didn't get far or didn't get too far, but I think they drained one of the tanks, and then he fueled again not too far away. But all in all, when I figured his fuel mileage, I think it was like 2 or 3 miles to the gallon, and I was like, no way.
There's no way. Yeah.
Ian,
no way.
I
Not
wanna-
in that new truck.
What do you
Ian, I want to start off by saying I really respect you and your journalism, but this is just an accusation. There's nothing. If I read this, it's not factual. It says driver said he was getting some rest. And he woke up early morning to a semi truck with a flatbed pulling beside him. He looked out the window. And the driver pulled up and waved like, "Hey," and drove away. Then he noticed he went from a quarter tank to empty.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Like, there's no proof that anybody took anything. There's no.
Yeah, that's what I saw. He just went from a quarter tank to 0.
This was him making sure that he could sell that fuel and report it to the company so he doesn't get fired for it. That's what it was. Yeah.
That's why he
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah. I better add that back. We don't want to get.
Was it
Where
Florida?
was this?
Where was
Was it?
it?
I was gonna say that. Was this Florida?
Let me scroll back up here. Hometown.
Indiana.
There you go.
When did that happen to Lee?
A month or so ago.
Not long. I mean, yeah, probably 2 or 3 months ago, maybe.
And with the price of fuel.
Yeah, and I mean, the only reason, well, we knew something was off because of how much he spent that week. But then when we looked at it, I knew
I got
2
them
or
screens
3
in
miles
mine. We
wasn't
can't
working.
get in there but 6 inches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mine are not clamped in there because when I go to fuel, I take them out, but I still put them back in there. 'Cause, anybody sticks a hose down and it only goes 6 inches. They're
Right.
gonna walk
It's
away.
going to hit the screen. Right.
Yeah.
They're not going to take the time to see if it's fastened or not.
All right.
What was the next article you said?
This was a bunch of comments about the
Florida
state
Highway
troopers.
Patrol rig.
Yeah, there are some funny comments on some of these.
They got a couple of those.
This one says, "Man, I would sure love to do a DOT inspection on that rig. I guarantee you can find multiple violations. What's good for the goose is good for the gander."
So I don't. So why are they? Is this just to be in disguise where you don't really notice it? But they've got
They're targeting aggressive.
That's for
drivers.
storm victims.
Yeah, this
Not only
one they had gotten it out
cars,
to
but
help people.
Trucks.
Yeah.
So,
Indianapolis did the same thing here not too long ago. They had one going around the circle, and they were targeting aggressive drivers and not only cars but trucks too.
With a semi.
With a semi,
it's a black Peterbilt.
Yep, and an
Yeah, I see
officer
it.
sits in the passenger seat and
That
radios the cars.
That's a Sterling.
continue to
Yeah, I was
place
gonna say
around the
that's not-
circle.
No, they have another one that is a Peterbilt. That's,
is that
I've
a Sterling?
I've seen one.
Yeah, I think so. I see
Sterling.
that. Yeah.
It's a
And
Ford.
they it didn't look like that. And it was bobtailing.
New York and Pennsylvania both use the plow truck and construction trucks
Really?
year round.
When they drew that truck out on a draft paper and they designed it, it probably looked pretty cool on paper. But this is the
So
finished
ugly.
product.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, for the taxpayers of Florida, I'd like to know how many miles do they use on that truck and what do they pay for it? It doesn't seem like a very good use of money.
Another one of these comments that says, "Who the hell are they chasing? Optimus Prime?"
Yeah, I don't know how you really target people when it says highway
Painted up
patrol
like
is huge
well,
all over.
The
it.
whole purpose of it is they drive around and they're radioing back to other cop cars.
Yeah, and I think this is more of like a driving billboard for them for when they're
that's what it
doing
is.
stuff
Yeah,
with it. They're
charitable.
taking stuff
Yeah.
down to the storm victims, or they're taking toys for tots kind of thing. To say, hey, look at us.
It's a really big.
They got
paddy
straight
wagon.
drives all the way back. Look at that. Going for fuel efficiency. I'll give them that.
I wonder how many people can arrest and put in the back.
Yeah, straight on
Probably,
They got
they
steers
probably
on the
use that in
drive.
Memphis.
Another one that says, "Officer, your truck is older than 2012 and can't be registered here anymore as it's out of emissions compliance."
It's a vintage van. They have people in the back.
Oh my God.
Joel.
Oh man. All right. Judge in Rhode Island says that toll booths have to stop collecting truck-only tolls. Obviously a win for the industry. I mean, they shouldn't be able just to pick on you guys. I get it because, you weigh more, you're going to do more damage to the road. But find a way to make it even for everybody, right?
No, we pay a whole lot of tax all year long. And we're providing a service for the general public. If they don't like it, they can move it in on their mopeds or whatever. Please stop taxing truck drivers is bad. And can someone raise their hand? We need to write Judge William Smith a thank you letter that someone is actually doing something that's in our favor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what
for
was
sure.
so disgusting about that toll specifically is it made them the most expensive toll in the nation for the amount of miles you use it for.
Oh, $2 will work.
Yeah, yeah. You see where it says $2 minimum for the truckers? It's $200 minimum.
Right.
Oh, this was crazy.
Oh, there's your coil, Russ.
Yeah, I hauled. That's the only flatbed I really did was haul coils.
Oh, that thing's coming. Oh, get out.
Oh boy, no.
Ooh.
Oh,
I saw that.
yeah, they're heavy.
Wow.
Buck and Bronco.
I saw that on the Asian My Show.
That guy
and it
needs
said
3
that-
more clicks on his hard hat.
Yeah, he had to change his pants after that. I mean, that is
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah, I
I mean, is there
Well,
like a
scary
rule that
Pants and
says
get
like
a new trailer.
Yeah, the scary thing is, when you're hauling those, is, I was scared to death I'd have to slam on my brakes if somebody get accident or something in front of me, and that thing was going to roll forward and it'll crush
flatten you like a Looney Tunes cartoon?
My question is, why is he up there?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is there like a rule that says like, hey, you shouldn't be
He
on your
probably
trailer
shouldn't have been up
while
there.
stuff's being
Case
loaded?
of
Like,
policy can.
I mean,
Yeah.
glad he had
I
good
saw this on the
reflexes.
Asian My Show, and it said he said that he got real lucky he didn't get hurt. All he did was make it work.
If that rolled his way, it's over.
oh yeah, could have been so much worse. It could have rolled the whole trailer too. Yeah.
But good thing he wasn't hurt.
On the Asian My Show, it said that it bent the frame on that trailer.
No doubt.
I'm sure. Did you see
Yeah,
it get
at the end.
Yeah, so, I mean, every place that you go load coils at now is most likely after this. It's been so publicized to tell you to stay off the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you think?
I imagine that's an OSHA thing. Probably he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Yeah.
When
Look at how
something's
it's sitting
being that
there now.
heavy is being moved.
Look at his
Yeah.
hat.
Well, we got it mid hat flying off.
Good thing.
And that hard hat's going to do him a lot of good with that coil falling on his head.
Right. And he had flip flops, so drivers don't drive with flip flops.
No, did he really? No,
No, I'm just kidding. But I've had a few of those on our fleet over the years.
Oh, he's back.
Flatten that way.
I know.
Mr. Flip Flops is back.
I know.
All right. This is something that finally got repealed. We're waiting for the U.S. one to follow too. But now you can cross into Canada if you don't have a vaccine. You just can't get back. So
Once the one on the way back,
So
some
is
of these truck drivers will
is
start
COVID
to-
over? I missed the announcement.
Not
I
for
guess COVID's
Kumar.
over.
Not for Kumar.
Oh, come on.
I'm vaccinated. Okay, I could get into Canada.
But you can go if
I'm going to
anyone
shoot
can
you some statistics after the show, Kumar. We'll talk later.
all right. Back on here before we get banned from YouTube.
Is that the self-driving truck that works in the yard?
Yes, this is over at a BMW plant.
Yep. I
take
saw
a look
that.
at that.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, he's about to hit that other
Looks
trailer.
like he's going to
No.
hit that trailer, but no, he didn't.
It's clenched up there for
It's
a
a
moment there. I
computer. It knows where it's going.
thought. Computers can't be wrong.
So what kind of truck is it? Is it made by, is there a certain manufacturer or?
I'm sure there is. Looks kind of like
I
a,
like
a
how
yard
small
dog vehicle
they
for sure.
how small they put the do not approach on there.
Why does it have a seat or a steering wheel?
Well, that's for
You
the
know, right?
ghost
That's not-
driver.
kinda
Yeah, robots
unnecessary.
need seats too.
Why does
They're
it
gonna
have
put a
Elon's
dummy
in it?
in there.
It didn't even roll his landing gear up. Right?
Oh,
Did you
don't
see
talk
those
about our
My
drivers like
question
that.
is, who hooks the airline on it?
Oh,
It's the guy
Who
sitting
rolls
at the
the, did you
picnic
notice the
table.
landing gear were, well, that they
It might
probably
be
have-
like a toter.
yeah, where
yeah,
they
it's probably the
Yeah,
guy
it is a
behind him in
toter.
the van.
it lifts them. Yeah.
Right, so you're just gonna drive.
Yeah,
two
but it lifts
vehicles
them
all
up
the
and put
time.
them over height.
This is impressive.
Yeah, I started to share that with Kumar yesterday, and I was like, they probably already have it.
Yep.
I
Notice
bet
how
you
fast
guys,
the human is going. The human's doing this at a much faster pace, by the way.
Yeah, he's already moved 14 trailers.
Ooh, that was a hard.
Oh, holy
Yeah.
smokes!
Fell.
That was a hard
Jeez.
hit.
Oh,
Those yard dogs, they rip around there, man.
yeah, they do.
Airlines disconnected.
Where was that? A BMW plant?
Yeah, that is which one? Let's see. Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Okay.
This guy latched onto the back of a trailer and started riding with it.
They probably stole Lee's fuel.
people behind the truck saw him and called police.
So you're just holding on the standing on a DOT bumper?
Yep. Just hanging on back
I've
there.
done that in a truck stop because I was too lazy to walk all the way up to the building.
We don't recommend that.
This is saying he went nearly 130 miles, which is
wow.
Well,
He saved himself some time.
He was trying to get to another truck stop.
I guess it was a dry van, huh? He's holding
Like
it back
in
to some of
January,
my doors.
And now they're giving him 3 meals a day.
It said Soul
Free
told
ride.
deputies that he had hopped on in hopes of finding his wife in Kansas.
So what law did he break? I guess there's got to be something. I mean, it's not safe, obviously, but
Endangering
No
others.
pedestrians on the interstate.
There
If
we
it's
go.
true love, you
That's
can't
a
stop
good
it.
one.
This is like a 90s movie like premise. Like one man goes to Great Lakes to find his wife.
Here we go. Was formerly charged with being intoxicated in public and joyriding.
What's his name?
okay.
What's his name?
Solcombe.
I'm sorry?
Slocum.
I think that's the problem, guys. I think that's the problem. I'm sorry, Russ. We didn't have a show last week, man. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I was
so
like,
glad we
man,
got
this
the
is a
band back
low
together.
bar for Christian.
Yeah,
Wow.
Kumar's got air horns. We'll figure it out.
Write that time down.
Oh man, there you go. Thanks for having me.
Well, listen, guys, it's we are bumping the hour and a half, so we are gonna move the questions with Kumar next week. I'll
Let's
donate.
just say Christian owes, $150.
I'll donate 20. Anyone else? We got any takers, drivers? Come on,
I'll give
Nate.
you 5 because you guys took advantage of me the week I was gone. You
Okay,
got $5
Give me
for
for
me.
20.
Joel, or Doty's in for 20. I'm in for 20. Christian's in for 20.
Give me
I
for
just
20.
bumped
I'll
it
do
up for
20.
Kevin's in
Thanks.
for 20. Lunchbox, let's go.
I'll do 20.
Oh my lord.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Sorry,
Oh,
I forgot.
I was gonna say,
yeah, I'll do 20.
Thanks. You got all those, Kumar?
Yeah. Russ, Doty, Kevin, Nate,
Ray,
Ray.
Joel.
Sneed.
Cool. Yeah. I think I got it all.
All
Okay. $50, right?
You didn't get
Yeah.
me.
20. Jim Mackey.
20. Jeez, Pete.
Oh my lord.
Russ is going to have to pay everyone and then payroll deduct it at the end of this when it comes out and there's people owing $600 a clip and
It's going to be nice. It's going to be
There
nice
goes
when
the
we have
Christmas bonus.
that guy will be coming back on right around Christmas time, and we can give that to St. Jude. So I appreciate you guys. I know we have fun with it, but I know you do it because you care. So I appreciate that, and so does St. Jude's.
Didn't do the football.
Oh, so real quick, Jim Mackey, tell us what you made, Jim.
Oh, we got. I'm making safety ropes for the back doors.
So you remember a few weeks back, guys, we talked about, just safety and the doors, being careful. Yeah, flying open or something falling out.
Watch out for that wind.
So Jim, Kumar, can you put what he made up on our social media page or on Facebook?
Yeah.
It's
I can
really
pull
neat.
it up now.
Oh, you can show it right now. So Jim made this out of rope that they handle 1,000-pound cattle with. And you basically put it around the doors. That way you can open it. If it does fly open, it's only going to go a little ways. It's a pretty cool idea. I was showing
it's like a
Trish.
tether?
Yes.
yeah, it's similar to those. You ever been, or if you guys delivered to, I think beer places, or different places have them, but they'll give you that red.
Other recycling places do it.
Yeah,
the
they'll give you that
recycling
red.
cardboard.
Yeah, they'll give you that red.
We take the same rope that we make halters out of, and the snaps, and we put them together like that, and it's the same thing that'll handle a 1,000-pound steer. So I'm sure it will handle that door. And we have them.
It's pretty cool. I think it's a great idea. I was showing Trish today. She agreed with me. That's pretty neat. Because we just went over that a few weeks ago. How and it's happened to me and many drivers. So that was real cool, Jim.
Is that patent?
We'll sell them for $15 a piece, and then out of that $15, I will donate $5 to St. Jude's.
There you go. So you can contact Jim through the show, and he can help you out with those. Jim's going to take them with him and start trying them on his truck. He told me too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got 2 of them here. Those 2 in the picture I got with me, and I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Try them out.
So, Christian, you got anything else?
I don't know. Just finally got all the tree limbs out of our dumped in our parking lot from the storm. So
sorry.
No, not that Ian.
Doty,
troublemaker.
Got a boat. Doty's brother got a boat through his house, I think. Didn't he, Doty?
Yeah, he got
I saw
so
the picture.
lucky. Well, he real quick. So all the soffit blew out around his house. He was lucky. He was in the eye of the storm. He got the 140-mile-an-hour winds, but he didn't get the flooding. He was just far enough north. On the north side of the eye, he didn't get the flooding. But he got back to his house. A bunch of soffit was blown out around his house, and then the rain blew up in there, so a lot of his ceiling collapsed from all the water blowing up in there. And then his boat, his lift collapsed, and he has, I don't know how he got the video, but he has the video of not of it actually collapsing, of it like right before, and then there's video of it right after, just sitting out there floating. And it just so happened, man, it floated over and got stuck under his neighbor's dock and stayed there. So
was the boat heavily damaged, or
no? It had some mud in the motors under the cowlings. We don't know how it got there. The wind, just I guess all the wind and water. I have no idea. And then a few deep scratches from falling off the lift, but other than that, nope.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad your family, everybody was safe.
Yeah,
that's
he
really
evacuated.
good.
So when he got back, that's when he saw the damage inside the house. But for the most part, I mean, he got really lucky. He had a car parked in his driveway, and I got a picture of the car and these two big trees on the side of it, like a Y, and the car parked right in between. Didn't touch the car.
Wow,
that's the kind of luck the kid has.
That's crazy. Joel,
my luck is I get to go to sell a trailer for my full asking price, and the state of Maine puts the wrong year on the title. That's my luck.
That happened. Yeah. Wow. Good thing you weren't in the eye of the storm, Mike.
Yeah, right.
Well, guys, Joel, do you got anything else? You save our questions for next week.
Yeah,
got some good ones. Yeah, we'll get on to those next week. Kumar, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah,
other
just,
than COVID.
Yeah, I do have COVID. Yeah, well, not anymore. Today, first day, no COVID. I'm no longer a bubble boy. So
welcome back.
But yeah, anyways, just don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Check us out on Spotify and YouTube and wherever else you get your podcast. And that's all.
And make good notes on your logs, drivers. Protect yourself. With that, go Browns, go Guardians, and go Cavaliers.